What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XCN today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Before we do, I just want to say we moved up 7% from the low. That does it, guys. That validates it. The low's in. We're going to the moon now, right? I mean, it has to be, because all the bears were celebrating that we moved down a whole 5% yesterday. So that means that that we're going to zero. I don't know, man. I don't know where people get it. Right. It would be crazy. It would be absolutely crazy if right now I was celebrating so hard over something that is so insignificant. I don't get it, man. When people get desperate, they start to celebrate things that are very insignificant, or they start to point out things that just aren't worth pointing out. So we're not going to do that here. I just wanted to make a joke. I guess I am pointing out things that don't need to be pointed out. What does that say about me? Hopefully nothing bad. But somebody did say that I was slowly descending into madness, and that's all I have to say about that. Is I don't know why that's just now becoming obvious. From a high to a low, I think you should be mad. I think that anybody, by the way, just on that topic alone, this is a philosophy that I kind of adopted. I don't think I created it, but I adopted it when I was a teenager. Was that every great person in history, whether they're good or they're bad, every single one of them, they had something wrong with them on the inside. There was something not right. There was something different about them in their head. And I have always strived for greatness. And whenever I piece that together, that's whenever I started to embrace madness a little bit more, craziness a little bit more, right? You've got to have a little chaos, a little chaoticness if you want greatness. It's inevitable. It's just how it is. Life is this wonderful thing, you guys. It's this beautiful, amazing thing. And it wouldn't be if it wasn't chaotic. It wouldn't be without the madness, right? I'm not saying that evil is a good thing. I'm not saying that at all. But it's all part of this beautiful, imperfect perfectness that we call the universe, that we call life. Okay, that's a whole different thing. But if you understand what I'm saying, you need a little bit of something wrong, a little screw loose in the head to achieve greatness. I think it's a must. There's no coincidence, man. There's no coincidence at all. All the greatest minds, all of them, man or woman, they all had something wrong with them to a certain degree. So embrace your madness. Find it on the inside. Use it, utilize it, and exact it on the world. Okay, here we are at 1.47 cents, 9 hours left in the day here. We're up 0.44%. It's not worth celebrating that we're up 7% overall from the day, from the low. It does look like we are at a point where we could form some kind of a double bottom look. It might not be as obvious on the daily time frame, but if we look at the 4 hour time frame, it becomes perhaps even less obvious, actually. If we look at the low here, we look at the low to the high, we have bounced off the 886, which is a good thing. You want to hold the 886. As long as we're not closing below the 886, that prevents us from seeing prices at 1.2 cents to 1.03 cents. Now, I will say, if we see a 4 hour candle close below the 886, it's not time to get too excited for these prices yet. A little bit, sure. But if we get two 4 hour candles in a row to close there, or the daily closes below there, I would think that, yeah, we are absolutely going to expect 1.2 to 1.3 cents to come into play, if not lower. I'm sorry, 1.2 to 1.03 cents. I missed the zero there. But I do think that we're bouncing up here. What we need to do now is not reject the 786 and return back to the 886. If we do that, we likely will go through it, okay? Because the fibs, the way they work, they tend to be productive in one way or another. So if you're finding support at one fib and then resistance at the next, and then resistance at the next, you go below the next fib. And then if you find resistance at the next, you go lower. And then, that's just kind of, they like to stair step. That's how it is. If we can get above the 786, that'll be cause for a slight celebration, but nothing too crazy yet. At 1.48 cents, getting a 4 hour to close above there, I think would be a nice thing. We're pretty damn close to that. 1 hour and 4 minutes left here. If we can get above the golden ratio, I think that would be really something to celebrate at that point. Let's just say 1.6 cents. 1.6. If you can close a 4 hour time frame above 1.6, or like 1.595, so somewhere really close to 1.6, 1.59, I guess above 1.59, yeah, 1.592. In that area on a 4 hour basis, that would also be time to celebrate, because likely that would confirm that these are the lows, and likely would confirm that, or not confirm that this is the low just yet, but the lows relative to this, we have to still get above this 236 before we confirm this low, because Sometimes the fibs are weird. Sometimes, yes, while you can confirm a relative low by, or a momentary low here on one of these lows by closing back above the golden ratio, you could still find resistance at the 382. You could still find resistance at the 236 or even the 0.5 like you did here, right? So you need to get above the 236. Ultimately, what we're looking for is a price above 1.88 cents. I'm rounding up because if you can see a price above 1.879, you should be able to get above 1.88, I think. So 1.88 on a daily basis, a 2-period 4-hour closing basis would be nice. What I mean by that is 2 candles, 2 4-hour candles in a row, an 8-hour period with 2 4-hour candles closing above that. That'd be nice. You did find support here for a time. You did find support here for a time. A little bit of resistance, a little bit of support, a little bit of support. It's a somewhat significant area. So I would think that breaking above it, not just on the 236 basis, but on the price basis, that would be somewhat significant as well. We look at the 4-hour RSI. Overall, I'm not worried about this thing at all, guys. It looks very bullish. Getting overbought, not getting oversold, that's a good thing. Overall, you're finding higher lows coming out of this downtrend, coming out of this trend where you were living below the 50 and not getting overbought at all. Now you're getting above the 50 and you're not getting oversold at all. Right, and really you're getting overbought, but you're not getting oversold. I shouldn't say that you're living above the 50 just yet, but we're turning things around, and that's why we're moving sideways instead of moving down, and we're not moving up. Whenever we start moving up, that'll be when we start living above the 50 instead of below the 50, right? But overbought and not getting oversold is a good way to start that. Okay, let's look at the overall range. Talking about moving up, it's always good to identify some key areas based on this. The fibs themselves are very reliable. They're very reliable, but not every single fib all the time is reliable. There are different ways that you can move through this entire range. My most favorite way to do so is this. I just love it whenever that happens, but you never know whenever that's going to happen. It's good to use in culmination with the price, right? So I very much do like the 382 area, but if we look at the price action here, it doesn't seem to be too well respected. Like a little resistance here, you found support below here, you found a speck of support here, but that's like the most significant thing. Little resistance here, maybe that in culmination makes it a little significant. I wouldn't be surprised if for an hour or two, maybe a day, we found resistance at 2.2 cents, but truthfully, I'm looking for us to break above that, because I think once we get above this high, we're not going to stop right at that next high just above it. I think we would continue to grow to the next area, which might be at a more significant area in price. And the 0.5 is not that normally significant of a fib, but it seems to be respected. It seems to be respected here, right? You've got resistance and support all throughout this line. So I think something around 2.6 cents is where you're going to go ultimately. We're at 1.47 cents now. Obviously, you're going to go higher than 2.6 cents, you guys. We're talking about the coming days, not the coming weeks, not by the end of the month or by the end of April, right? Those targets are significantly higher. We'll go over that in a second. But if I had to guess how we're going to move out of here, maybe what we do is we do something of like this magnitude, something like that, and then we probably pull back to the 382 area, find support there, and then we continue up to the golden ratio or potentially all the way up to the 786. I'm not convinced one way or another, but I would think that we find resistance somewhere in this zone between about 3 cents to 3.74 cents. And if not, we're going to probably find resistance at this high or maybe even as high as 4.25 cents. But I would likely expect that we do find resistance like this. Now the next move is kind of tricky. Do we move up to the golden ratio, pull back to the 0.5, and then build from there? Are we going to be very productive? If so, great. That's more trading opportunities. Are we going to just blast through the golden ratio and hit the 786, 886 area? We could, because this kind of maneuver where you bounce off the 382 does set you up for that. But it also sets you up for the golden ratio. It just depends. But I don't find as much significance here on the golden ratio on the price. Actually, there is. There's some, I shouldn't say that. There actually is. And it is the golden ratio, to be fair. So even if there wasn't significance on the price, it's something that should be considered still. But we'll see. Maybe I'm just putting my moon boots on. Why can't I say that? Moon boots on too soon. Inevitably, I do think that it will be time to put on the moon boots. We are going to see higher prices, and those higher prices will come in the form of, the very technical minimum target would be 7 cents. The very technical maximum target would be 40 cents, right? So if you hear 7 cents and you're like discouraged, and then you hear 40 cents and you're like, that's crazy. I'm just being technical here. I'm just accepting the possibilities. I don't think you stop at 7 cents. I don't think you stop at 40 cents. I accept them as possibilities, but really what I think is going to happen is that you stop somewhere between 11 cents at a minimum, and to me that doesn't even sound right. I think that you're going to go higher than that. 11 cents at a minimum to something around 26 cents as the maximum. This is kind of the zone that we're looking for, the 1618 to the 2272. So whenever it comes to building out of here, we can get excited for that. as we would get excited for prices to go lower if we can get above the 886, right? We're here, we're bouncing off the 886. If we get above the 886, 4.256 cents is the ultimate gatekeeper that's preventing us from seeing this target area of about 11 cents to 26 cents. And the reason why I say 26 cents, it's actually very common to go just above the 2272. I should probably even say 28 cents. Let's stop messing around here. Let's say 28 cents. I think 28 cents, it's time to just probably accept that as a possibility. Why? Because I'm bullish and I just want to say things that get people excited for higher prices. I want your clicks. I want your likes. I don't care about giving you the truth. No, because from a low to a high of this very identifiable bull flag, I don't care if you're blind, man. You should be able to understand that this right here is a bull flag, right? Look it up on Google. You can see that this is a bull flag entirely, right? If you are blind, that's not a slight at you. I'm sorry, but you're probably not watching a video based on technical analysis if you are. So I feel pretty confident that I haven't offended any blind people. Plus, have you ever met a blind person? They're very blissful, and they have a good sense of humor. Most of them do, at least. At least the ones I've interacted with. Anyways, if we're putting a measure move on this thing, which you take the flagpole, put it at the base of the flag, that's how you do it. The measure move literally puts you right at 28 cents right there. So I think it's, it's time. I've been saying that I don't think that we see this bull flag come into fruition, but I think it's time to start accepting it. And in fact, with how bullish it's been, it really is time to acknowledge regularly that 40 cents could be a target area that we stop at. 40 cents really could be a target area that we stop at. Why? Because again, from a high to a low here, that's your 2618. 2618 right there at 40 cents right there. And measure moves are just ideas. You don't have to stop there. You can go just above them. You can go just below them. You can stop right at it. It's just an idea. So just above that measure move would be the 40 cent area. That's the next fib target. Just below is 15.5 to 18 cents. I really do like this whole zone as a potential maximum zone, right? I really do. And then this 2618 here from a high to a low is where we found resistance to a T. We tipped it to a T perfectly. Found resistance there. So, and then that's the 361. Man, it even lines up with these fibs as well. I keep forgetting that. I think it really is time to accept that prices above 20 cents could be on the way. Okay. I did just make a video on SwiftCoin saying that I expect SwiftCoin more so to go above 20 cents than XCN, and I meant that. But that doesn't mean that I can't be more friendly with the 20 cent area and above for XCN than I have been throughout this whole time, right? If you guys have watched throughout this whole time, we've mentioned it, but especially now, especially at these areas, I'm getting a lot more friendly with this idea, this notion. But still, be completely prepared. It's a very significant thing to just tear through your all-time highs. So we might find resistance there, and we could do something really crazy, which it's pretty common to do actually at your all-time highs. We could experience some really intense volatility. We drop from 18, 19 cents, pull all the way back down to 9 cents, and then just rip all the way up to the targets that we're talking about now. Crazy things can happen, you guys. It doesn't have to happen in a very long amount of time. I'll prove it to you. I'll prove it to you real quick. If you've been holding XCN for a couple months now, you already know what I'm talking about. If we go on a 4-hour basis here, right? It doesn't take much time at all, high to low, to drop 43%, right? That was a 4-hour period that it took you to drop, okay? You consolidated for 4 days about after that, and then you continued to rip from that high. Even if you bought at the worst possible time and you were the exit liquidity from that high, you had an opportunity to sell at a 3x even there. So let alone if you bought lower than that. So wicked volatility is something to admire for a opportunity, not something to be afraid of as if it's going to take your money, right? Let's look at these indicators that everybody seems to be enjoying, right? Talking about the MACD, and then we can finish up this video, right? And we'll talk about all-time high predictions as well for the end of the cycle, because I know some people have been asking about that. I noticed that was a more common theme in the comments today than it has been in a while. So we'll talk about that, because we don't actually really talk about the all-time highs all too often. You do have bullish divergence, triple bullish divergence on the daily MACD. Phenomenal. Looking like you're about to cross to the upside, guys. You're getting pretty damn close. These things are about to kiss. We like it when they interact, at least to the upside, right? Stochastics are bullishly crossed, or not bullishly crossed yet, but you do have bullish divergence on there. Is this double? Yeah, it would be. This divergence in the MACD started all the way back here at about 2 cents itself. I would expect that we do blast through that. Okay, I think that we will see prices that are well above that. That's why I'm thinking 2.6 cents is a good target area. If we look at the 3-day time frame here, 3-day time frame doesn't really look too convincing that it's going to go up from here or from the stochastic either. But I do like it on the RSI. You have lower lows here. Do we have lower lows? We don't have lower lows in the MACD. We do have lower lows in the stochastic too, so we have hidden bullish divergence on 2 of these indicators, and the weekly time frame probably won't help us out as much. Yeah, hidden bullish divergence, still bullishly crossed on the MACD, so we're just waiting for that next tick up, you guys. There was something that I wanted to say before ending the video, and I can't remember. Oh, yeah. It was all-time highs. So let's go over the all-time high stuff. XCN is at a price of or a market cap of about, let's just say 500 million, 480 million, 500 million, whatever. I'll try and do 480. If not, I'll just do 500 just to make the math easier. But 480 million. Okay. If you were to do a 100x from here, that puts you at a $48 billion market cap. 48 billion is not a small task. It's not a small order, right? That's a very tall order. It's a very large accomplishment to see market caps that high, but I think this thing can do that, right? It's not the most impossible thing to ask for a $48 billion market cap. Shiba Inu, a meme coin that existed for less than one cycle, came out in like the middle of last cycle and it saw an $80 billion market cap, and all it was, its big mission statement was, it's the Dogecoin killer. That's it. Now, they've changed that mission statement. It's not the Dogecoin killer, and they changed it because they realized that that was a bad idea, so Shiba's just irrelevant now. No offense to all the Shiba Knights out there. I think Shiba, you know, it probably performs somewhat well. I bet if you're investing in Shiba, you probably do make money this cycle. It probably does see new all-time highs, but I don't think it's going to do anything spectacular. If anybody's expecting Shiba to do what it did last cycle, they're going to be left wanting. In fact, XCN, I think, is more likely to do that than what Shiba is likely to do. But my point being, I'm getting away from it, is that Shiba hit a market cap over $80 billion, okay? And it's just a meme coin. This thing, looking as robust as it is, providing some Shiba-like, Doge-like moves here, and it's only at a $480 million market cap. If you saw 100x, I definitely believe you can do that, right? 100x from here would be $1.46.8, $1.47, something like that, right? If you were to go higher than that, I've been telling people that I think 240 is the maximum target that we could see. And if we do see that, let's just go here. It's very common, very, very common when you interact with the 1414 to go just above it. The reason why 240 is a thing that I accept as a target is because back here on Coinbase, I think that this fib is actually being more respected, more well respected. You hit the 382, you hit the 786, finding support around the golden ratio here. If you're on a daily basis, you would see more respect, but I don't care. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. 242 is the 1618 golden extension, and based off of Coinbase's chart, that would make sense to me because that puts you at about an $80 billion market cap, I'm pretty sure. If we look here, you know, $2.42, whatever. That's a 165x on 148 million. Yeah, you feel me? I can't. Or no, I'm sorry. 480 million. Okay, 480 million on a 165x. That'd be 48 billion. 65 times 48. I can't even, man. That's another 200. That's another 24 billion. Yeah, you could see that. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, you could. I don't even think that puts you at 80 billion, actually, does it? Let's see. Google calculator, because I can't do that math, man. 100. I probably could, but I'm not gonna care to do it. Take too much time. 166. We'll call it 166x from here. 166 times 100. No, sorry, 448. What was it? Damn it, I keep forgetting. 480. All these damn numbers, man. So this is millions, okay? I know it says 480 as if it's 100, but treat it like millions. Then the thousands will be billions, okay? Does that make sense? 79, yeah, it's just below $80 billion. Now, 80 billion is, again, what Swiftcoin hit last cycle, and it's just a meme coin. I'm not saying that entitles XCN to an $80 billion market cap. I am saying that your golden ratio extension is right there, though, based on the Coinbase chart, based on the one that you're actually finding more significance on. If we look at this one from a high to a low, you can see not a whole lot of significance on these fibs. You're disrespecting the hell out of the 236. You kind of had some significance here. You're not really respecting any fibs here. This is very obscure, you know, even on a daily basis. Didn't even really find support on your golden ratio. You kind of tipped it here, to be fair, but just very obscure, not making sense to me at all. Where on this one, it at least has more respect if we look at this here, right? Oops. Let's see. Finding support at the golden ratio, closing right at the 786, finding support or holding above the 236 here between the golden ratio and the 0.5. It looks more tit for tat on this one. Finding resistance at the 236, coming down, finding support at the 069, right? It seems more significant. So based off of that, it's very significant. I think that the $2.42 is something that should be considered. Okay. We use that in culmination with the actual all-time high, not the Coinbase high, but the all-time high to the all-time low. We can also derive other targets of about 82 cents and $1.82. But I think that 242 is a good maximum target. Could it see higher prices than that? Sure, but the closer you get to 100 billion, the less likely it is as an outcome. I'm not saying it can't happen. It's very rare that it does happen. If we're dealing with the next Ethereum or the next XRP, it could happen, you guys, but I don't know if that's XCN. It might be. I do think as far as DeFi protocols go, XCN is probably one of the best, if not the best, as far as DeFi protocols go. I think it's going to give Aave a run for its money, Compound a run for its money, YFI. Like it genuinely beyond all those. There are some other DeFi protocols. I'm drawing a blank on right now. They're lesser. This is their first bull cycle. They're lesser in market cap, but they actually have a good chance as well. I'm drawing a blank. I think one of them starts with an S, one of them starts with a D, and I'm drawing a blank. I have to do my research. I'm just blabbing at this point. But the main point here, guys, being that if we don't stop at $2.40, maybe we stop a little bit higher, maybe we stop a little bit lower. But if you interact with the $1.82, that is a 112x, 100 and actually that's 100 and that's 120x actually. And oftentimes with the 141.4, you don't stop right at the 141.4, you do go a little bit above it. So I would expect anything from above 120x from here to happen. 1272, that's at 82.6 cents. That is a 55x from here, okay? 55x from here, something like that. That would be the absolute minimum target that I could see, and I really don't think that we stop there. Personally, I don't think that XCN did this just to stop at its minimum target. No, sir, I don't think so. And then if we look at the one that has been more respected, again, 82 cents here, 86 cents there. With the 141.4, it's pretty common to go just above that. So really, I would say your true minimum target would be something of about $1, not 80 cents. Okay, I got nothing else to say. I hope it makes sense. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy. Bye-bye.